Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another CYPRX video banger. In today's video, we're going to do a massive information dump covering some topics that we previously discussed on the CYPRX platforms, trying and attempting to show you guys what is really happening behind the scenes. All information that the mainstream media is never going to show you guys, confirming the digital transformation, digital assets, i.e. cryptocurrency, stablecoins, CBDCs, they're all here to stay. We are undergoing a massive fourth industrial revolution. And as an individual, if you are not paying attention to this transformation, again, most likely, in my personal opinion, you are set to be left behind. So make sure that you all are attempting to do your own personal research on these topics at hand. Again, none of this is financial advice, and I'm not telling you guys to go out there and invest in digital assets or the Web3 ecosystem. I am asking that you all take it upon yourselves to do research. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this video breakdown as we do an information dump covering some things that we've posted on the Twitter space, just showing you guys, again, this is not coming from our mouths. This is not our personal opinion. These are all facts that you guys can go and check yourselves. So first, we're going to start here. I find this absolutely hilarious, and I might curve my tongue on some of the posts you guys might have to read via the video recap because I don't want this to get taken down on YouTube and whatnot. So when we get to the topics talking about CV19 and whatnot, there may be some things that I don't say that are on the screen. Okay, but we're going to start with this post. So you guys remember, obviously, of course, in previous cycles, we had major financial institutions and large organizations, for example, like BlackRock, talking down on Bitcoin and digital assets as a whole. Yet now we see them in 2024 putting out fundamental PDFs like this. So I said, you cannot make this up. First, they call it a scam. Then they say it's used for terrorism and illicit market purposes. Then they pump up the price. And then once the price is high, they put out fundamental pieces, letting you all know that this is a historic moment. You cannot make this up. This is a fundamental PDF shared in our CYPRX private research channel. Again, shout out to the CYPRX researchers for the vast majority of the information that I'm going to show you all today. They spend countless hours finding these documents and this in-depth information for you guys, so that way you all can tap in. And it reads, Bitcoin ETFs, a new era of access. This is from BlackRock, and I just want to highlight this one key takeaway. It says, the investing industry has arrived at a historic moment. Goes on to talk about the Bitcoin ETFs and whatnot. And here it says the industry now stands at a historic moment. So I just find it interesting that they go from one narrative, pump up the price, and then after the price is pumped up, they tell the entire world and release documents saying that it is a historic moment. Okay. So again, why should you be paying attention to this space? Right? I posted this PDF that's from February 2024 that was released by the DTCC labeled Bringing Traditional Assets to Digital Networks, a summary of the DTCC's participation in Citi's proof of concept of tokenization of private assets. Remember, the DTCC processes over $2.3 quadrillion in securities transactions annually. Okay, and look at what they said in an updated document from February 2024, so only a couple days ago. The financial industry is undergoing a rapid transformation spurred by the shift towards digitalization. That's a big word. With market participants increasingly looking for ways to raise liquidity, reduce costs and risks, and automate inefficient processes. At the DTCC, we believe, so again, this isn't coming from our personal belief here at CYPRX. This is us relaying information from large organizations like the frickin' DTCC. They believe digital asset technology offers exciting potential to capture these benefits and could ultimately help push us towards a more streamlined and resilient financial ecosystem where blockchain networks and traditional rails seamlessly integrate. That is a massive statement right there, because what have we talked about in previous video breakdowns? The old, outdated financial infrastructure migrating over to this new, updated, modern infrastructure, i.e. a more interoperable, cross-border efficient payment system, right, that we're all migrating into this new digital world, i.e. the digital transformation. Here it says, we are committed to supporting the industry shift from blockchain experiments to production to ready capabilities. Okay. Who was saying this? Nadine Chakar, the managing director and global head of DTCC Digital Assets. All right. So again, this is not our personal opinion. We're trying to get people to wake up to really see what's happening. The mainstream media, CNBC, Fox News, they're never going to show you this document. They're never going to read and show you how positive this is for the industry as a whole, i.e. the Web3 ecosystem, okay, that the DTCC is backing this transformation. Again, that processes quadrillions of dollars on an annual basis. I don't even think people can fathom how much money that is. I'm not sitting here touting and saying that all of that money is going to transition. It's going to take time, right? But we know for a fact they're building a new financial infrastructure. Now, let's get into another topic that we've talked about in previous video breakdowns. I'm not going to read the post on this X post that I put out to you guys. Again, you can pause the screen and you can read it. But we're going to get into this document, confirming some things that, again, during the CV-19 pandemic, there was a massive push for the digital transformation. This is a document labeled a snapshot, payment systems worldwide. And I'm going to show you in multiple documents, they reiterate the same thing. This is all public information that, again, is never going to make the mainstream. Okay. Here it goes on to say, regulators and governments implemented measures to enhance digital payments in response to the CV-19-induced lockdowns. Many economies focused on accelerating the digitalization of government to person and person to government payments, improving payment infrastructures, implementing electronic know your customer processes, and enhancing interoperability of payment instruments and services, right? So there's confirmation that this took place during the CV-19 period. Again, there's a whole bunch of speculative, conspiracy theories around that, but I'm just here to prove to you that this is happening. Now, this is very interesting. It goes on to say, interoperability of these services is still limited, right? So I want to pause right there. I want to take your attention over to this KFW research focus on economics PDF that was, again, put out the 22nd of February, 2024, where it talks about the digital euro and the ECB's CBDC, okay? Now, right down here, it goes on to talk about how at the moment, let me zoom in for you guys, okay? It says, at the moment, there is no uniform cross-border solution for payments, right? Highlighting that sentence right there and keeping in mind that in the previous document, it also says interoperability of these services is limited. Again, I want to take your attention to the partnerships and the infrastructure that's being built right now. Who do we know is partnered with the Digital Euro Association? Ripple, whom we know's focus is on what? Interoperability and cross-border connectedness. So take that into consideration that these representatives right now in February 2024 are telling you in their documents that there's no solution to this, but we know for a fact that there is a uniform cross-border solution for payments that already exist. And who's partnered with the Digital Euro Association? Ripple. It is not a coincidence, okay? You really got to tap in and do your research because, again, in my personal belief, the individuals that don't, in the near future, 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, that is the near future, again, having a 5-year plan, are going to get left behind. Okay, if you're not doing research on what's happening right now, again, I'm not trying to bandwagon any products or projects or specific blockchains or digital assets, but you can see the partnerships. This is a new transfer. Okay, you got to understand, this is a transparent industry. So the ability to do research and see the interconnected webs all falls on you. If you can't see the interconnected webs and you can't see what's being built behind the scenes, it's because you're not opening up enough documents, you're not clicking open enough links, and you're not reading into what these highly intellectual and large organizations are telling you. They're literally putting this information out for the general public, but the vast majority of people, I'd say 95% of the population, is asleep. Let me show you another massive thing that's taking place that people think is a freaking conspiracy theory because Hollywood will make it seem to be that way. If you all have not seen the movie Ready Player One, okay, go watch it. Full of graphics, full of sci-fi and just futuristic things to potentially take place. But this is, again, in some way, shape, or form, it's not going to be to the absolute T, but in some way, shape, or form is becoming our reality. Let me show you proof from a large organization that's telling you this, okay? So again, go watch Ready Player One, virtual reality headset, future, right? Check this out. This is directly from the Bank of International Settlements, okay? This is an updated document, again, from February 2024. BIS paper, working number 144, the economic implications services in the metaverse. Look at what they freaking say. Regarding the first driver virtual classes took off during the pandemic. As schools closed, students turned to their computers to attend class and continue with their education. Right here, it also says they saw a sharp increase in active users online during the CV-19 lockdown period. Okay, notably, this shift did not revert, okay, attention away from the demand of remote education. So check this out. To continue reading this PDF, it says the metaverse has the potential to make education more effective and inclusive. In the metaverse, classes can take place in virtual classrooms where students interact with teachers and classmates in a more immersive manner and access course materials, assignments, and assessments. Online learning in the metaverse may be able to break the frontier of social connection and informal learning, i.e., physical presence in a classroom could cease to be a privileged educational experience. Do you all see that? They literally just said that physical classroom experiences could be a privilege in the future. That means where are we headed towards? A digital future. Learning may become more engaging when students take part in virtual field trips to museums and galleries or travel geographically or through time to witness historical events. This could be particularly beneficial for learners who have a difficulty physically attending places due to health conditions. Using internal social networks, students can interact with people of diverse backgrounds and foster collaborative learning. So they're talking about this virtual reality platform, i.e. the metaverse, where you need to have a virtual headset, right, to tap into it. Again, they put this movie out in 2019, Ready Player One. It's predictive programming, people. If you can't see it, again, this is not coming from me. I'm not making this up. This is not Cypress or CYPRX trying to get you all to believe in some conspiracy theory. This is coming from the freaking Bank of International Settlements. All right. And it's updated. This is from 2024 February. So again, tap in. This is a video breakdown where we're trying to get you guys to see information that is never going to make the mainstream. Here is another document that reiterates the digital transformation, where it goes on to say that during the CV-19 pandemic, many jurisdictions restricted cross-border travel, which resulted in a decline in cross-border cash withdrawals in 2020. Then here it goes on to confirm it's nearly impossible to imagine a world without digital payments. Due to technological innovations and increased demand for convenience, speed, and safety, payments by cash payment methods such as card, e-money, credit transfers have been on the rise for many years. Particularly, these trends accelerated over the CV-19 pandemic, and their growth has steadily continued since, right? You see that? And here again, this is another document from February 2024 from the BIS. Tap, click, and pay, how digital payments seize the day. All right. Now, this is very interesting. We're going to get into some timelines. So remember, here on the CYPRX platform, we've talked about the years 2025 to 2027 are going to be massively expansionary and explosive, in my personal opinion. Everybody's focused on this year, but in my personal opinion, again, you can disagree with me, you can dislike what it is that I have to say, but I have a firm belief that the massive explosion that we're looking for in not only the digital asset space, but the Web3 ecosystem as a whole is not going to happen until the 2025 to 2027 period. Okay. Again, disagree with me. Everybody has their own personal opinions. My belief is based off of research and facts. So let me show you all 3 supporting documents, and there's many other documents out there that support my thesis to show you that those timelines are most likely going to be important. Here it says, this is a document labeled "The World from 2025 Bank Transfers Should Arrive Within 10 Seconds and Without Extra Commission." This is directly put out from the EU, where it says bank transfers must be made regardless of the day and time and must reach their destination within 10 seconds. This is a new rule that's set to come out from the EU. This is stated in a new EU rule, which will take force banking entities not to charge extra fees for transferring money immediately. The intention for this obligation is to be fully enforced by the end of 2025. Has reported that the new European regulation will force financial entities to ensure that transfers reach recipients within a maximum of 10 seconds, and that they will therefore not be able to apply additional commissions to conventional transfers as they did so far, which means a savings of up to 12 euros for users. Everything indicates that the obligation will be in full force by the end of 2025. And remember, I just covered to you guys who is partnered with the Digital Euro Association. Ripple. How fast can they facilitate cross-border transactions? In 3 to 5 seconds. You guys catch the drift, right? You see what's happening? Okay, check this out. Here's another timeline confirmation. This is from UBS, another large financial organization. This is directly on their website, with the title of the article labeled "The Move to the Edge: What Drives the Next Leg of Gen AI Growth." So particularly talking about generative artificial intelligence, right? Now here it says UBS research analysts believe that the application development for generative AI on edge devices are set to increase significantly in 2024. So I do believe that there's going to be a massive expansion this year, and there's going to be growth. And obviously, of course, we're clearly in some type of bullish cycle. However, mainstream adoption and trillions upon trillions of dollars flooding into the space, in my personal opinion, will happen in between 2025 and 2027. And here you can see UBS researchers have that same prediction, where it says, with mainstream penetration expected from 2025 to 2027. This is straight on their website. Here you can see it says, we expect 2024 to be a year of increased promotion and initial adoption 2025 to 2027 to be when the markets take off from their applications to take advantage of the features as many key elements come together. All right. So there's two documents now confirming the year 2025 to 2027. Here's another document. This is a prediction from JP Morgan, where it goes on to say, we see the potential for a massive workforce productivity boom over the next 1 to 3 years. This is a document from 2024. 1 to 3 years is the time period 2025 to 2027, where it says it could shape, i.e. talking about generative artificial intelligence, could affect the shape of the economic life cycle. And you guys can see they put out different stages of generative AI adoption. Right now, we are in about phase 2 or stage 2. You can even see they put a timeline out from roughly starting at around 2020. Interestingly enough, 2020, reverting back to the previous documents that I just read to you guys, was when we started this digital transformation in the CV-19 pandemic days. You guys starting to catch my drift, right? And you can see the end date here at around 2025 to 2030 time period, when all of these things are set to be solidified, okay? Here is another interesting date talking about 2025 to 2027. How can we determine these dates? Because look at the timing that this fundamental piece was put out by the European Central Bank, labeled Digital Euro, the next steps and advancement of our currency. This is put out recently. Here it goes on to say, the preparation phase for a digital euro will start on November 1st, 2023. And look at what it says, and will last for 2 years. 2 years from November 2023 puts us where? November 2025. Are you guys seeing again another timeline synchronicity right there? This is why I've been telling you guys that in my personal opinion, 2025 is going to be a phenomenal year. It's going to be absolutely insane to live through the year 2025. Okay. Now, again, I'm not just waking up in the morning and yawning and saying, oh, I'm just going to go tell people 2025. I have a research backing what it is that I firmly believe in. Okay. And that has followed my investing career throughout the vast majority of the 9 years that I've been involved in this market, and it's worked for me so far. So again, just take that into consideration. Now, here is another interesting fundamental piece that we talk about in previous video breakdowns, where they themselves, excuse me, who was they? Banco de España, right? This is put out the 12th of February, 2024, all right? And what do they go on to say right here? This is from the program manager of the Digital Euro project at the European Central Bank. So this is not coming from me. This is coming from a reputable individual from the European Central Bank. And they go on to confirm the European system is committed to design a safe and easy to use payment instrument, but also to reduce any potential threat a digital euro could pose to Europeans' financial system. For this reason, the euro system would establish a limit on digital euro holdings individuals can hold. So again, this document in one paragraph confirms that they will have complete control over how much individuals can hold in their bank accounts via this new digital currency. That is absolutely insane to see. They're not directly confirming it. They're not going out and saying that we will have complete control, but they continuously say that they can limit how many holdings individuals can hold, right? That's massive right there. Okay. Moving on, let's get into a notable project that I have a firm belief is going to perform exponentially well in those years that I mentioned. Looking into the future, I put this out to you guys paying attention to the XDC network, which was chosen specifically for its utility in an award that it won at the end of last year in 2023. Looking forward into some future reading documents that we're going to go through right now, they are set to win another award for their utility. So here you can see the 4th annual TADS awards that were announced, I believe, last year in November, if I'm not mistaken. And you can see right here in Web3 innovations, the XDC network won this award. You can see some large supporting organizations like IBM, Deloitte, DLA Piper, Microsoft. So I'd say again that this was a pretty important award to win, right? Notable industries, notable organizations, backing this whole entire event that took place. And you can see the reasons why XDC Network won this award. Here it goes on to say, they won because of added value, where users today are more discerning, more critical, and look to the projects that offer real added value. They won because of innovation, the non-obvious synthesis of applications, ideas, technologies, expertise, and domains to produce true innovation. Future utility. They won because they have the ability where they're focused on how sustainability is important. And to be sustainable, a project should have a long-term viability, wide applicability, and not become obsolete quickly. That's a massive statement right there, considering the fact that a lot of individuals are concerned about what assets they're invested in now surviving in the long term. XDC just won an award because here it says they have future utility and the ability not to become obsolete quickly. That's another massive statement. Then it goes on to talk about novelty and governance. I won't bore you guys to death. You can pause the screen and read it at a later time. Moving forward, what else did we just see them take place at? Here you can see they attended this event. This is the GTR MENA Trade and Export Finance Conference that just recently took place. Now, I said in this post, people will call you lucky for getting into XDC at 4 cents. With no mainstream media coverage, yet one of the most important topics in the ongoing digital transformation, which is what? The digitalization of trade documents. The ETDA was put only into effect less than a year ago, people. Okay, here you can see they talk about this. At this conference, they discussed embedded finance, open banking, artificial intelligence, trade finance. You can see that Sunil Senapati from the XDC network attended this event, and you can see what they mention here. This is going to play an important role. Here's their little booth, right? The XDC network. You can see that they talk about the introduction of the Electronic Trade Documents Act, or the ETDA, which only came into effect in September of 2023. You have to understand that that was not even a year ago. How revolutionary that act was for the trade finance ecosystem and the electronification of trade documents. It was absolutely massive. Fast forward, here's another fundamental piece that goes on to highlight some of the XDC network's capabilities and potential. The XDC network's role in this evolution is critical, as its platform offers a ready-to-deploy solution for businesses and governments alike. However, widespread adoption faces challenges, including regulatory hurdles and the need for standardization, an imperative to educate both investors and the public about the benefits and risks of tokenized assets. Moreover, tokenization on the XDC network introduces unprecedented levels of transparency and efficiency. Then it goes on to talk about how we are in a new era where digital transformation is not just a buzzword. Hopefully, this video breakdown has shown you that it's not just a buzzword and that it's actually happening. It says, yet, but a fundamental shift in the global economic paradigms. And the XDC network is a leading revolutionary project that promises to unlock trillions of dollars in value, potentially expanding national GDPs worldwide, right? Here it also confirms the XDC network, a hybrid blockchain platform known for its enterprise-ready solutions and environmental sustainability, is at the forefront of this transformation. Remember, they just won an award back in 2023 that was supported by large organizations like Microsoft, IBM, and so on and so forth, right? For its utility. Here is a fundamental piece. I got to give a shout out for the individual that shared this. XV Oshi on the X Space. Drop this in the comments underneath of this post. And just to confirm what I just mentioned to you guys, that this trade documents, you see right here, the Electronic Trade Documents Act just came into fruition in September of 2023. This is the MLETR tracker that is up to date, and you can actually physically see how early we are, okay? Looking down here at the bottom, you can see that on a scale from 0 being the white highlighted part, all the way to the dark green, which is an 8 highlighted part, shows you in the transition to paperless trade, the recognition in domestic legal system of electronic transferable records is essential to unlock the benefits of trade digitalization. And it shows you the level in which each jurisdiction is MLETR compliant. And you can see that the vast majority of the world is only in roughly around stage 1 or 2, with the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and parts of, let's say, Asia being at a full 8, right? The vast majority of the globe, like South America, are all a level 0, 1 to 2. Russia is all at a level 0 to 2. China, right, is only at a level 3. So you can see physically how early we are. I know that people don't like hearing, oh, we're early. Oh, XDC hasn't done anything, hasn't moved. It's been at 4 cents for so long. You need to understand its utility, and its utility is not being used yet because the whole entire infrastructure and the new regulations that literally aren't even a year old yet just got solidified back in September. You guys understand? It's really insane to see what's happening right now and the fact that we get to live through this. Now, another event that's taking place before we end this Zoom call, that again, the XDC Trade Network in collaboration with Yoda Plus Technologies is happening this year, up and coming the 17th to the 18th of April, 2024. You can see what they're getting another award with. It says right here, we are thrilled to announce the XDC Trade Network in collaboration with Yoda Plus Technologies has been listed for the prestigious Best Cross-Border Trade Software System Technology Solutions Provider of the Year. So they won an award last year at the end of the year, 2023. They're winning another award this year, 2024. Again, just trying to show you guys that we are early. Here is another fundamental piece, just to confirm everything that I've just told you guys, that banks are for a fact attempting to integrate these new technologies into their back-end systems. This is directly from the Asian Banker's LinkedIn profile, where it says, banks aim to integrate blockchain into mainstream finance for digital assets, emphasizing on institutional grade standards, interoperability, and collaboration. And I'll end this here. You can see banks like UBS involved in this, SBI involved in this, DBS Bank, Citibank, and other major central banks, and other major banks are reshaping finance through various innovations, including the world's first cross-border digital bond repurchase. Now, I said in the little tiny post here, UBS, who are they partnered with? Ripple. SBI is partnered with Ripple. SBI subsidiary SBIVC Trade Co. is partnered with XDC Network. Citi has been in partnership with Medico, who was owned by Ripple. Citigroup has acknowledged the potential of the XDC network in trade finance. And all of these banks are doing what? Aiming to integrate blockchain into mainstream finance. Do you guys see what's happening behind the scenes? So hopefully this video breakdown, again, no hopium, just research, all tangible information that you guys can go and lay your own eyes on. I'm not making any of this up. This is all real world information, real world developments that are all updated and happening behind the scenes that the mainstream is never going to show you or bring to light. Keeping you guys in the loop. If you enjoyed this video breakdown, do us a favor. This information dump was absolutely phenomenal. Smash that thumbs up button and subscribe to the platform. We do appreciate the love and the support. And as always, make sure that you guys are being attentive and aware out there via the opportunities that are presented to us in the now. Don't get shaken out. Do your research, buckle down, and understand where this industry is headed over the next couple of years. I cannot stress enough, those that do will most likely thrive. The ones that assess their risk properly, the ones that stay active and stay engaged, and the ones that don't will be the ones calling you lucky individuals because you invested in the early days.